even though you think that everyone has already covered the topic that you plan to talk on, and you think that you have absolutely nothing to share, everyone has their own perspective.
For me, having public speaking was a boost for my career, so it can definitely change your career too.
Hi, my name's Eddie and I'm here at Global Diversity CFP Day in London, and we're here at the Microsoft Reactor space, and it's a wonderful space here, and I want to slide in a bit of a B-roll here of me walking around the space. What a great space. We've got a nice area here where people can talk, and people can talk about before the workshops, and then people now have broken out into workshops. At the moment they're working on their proposal. Earlier on they've worked on their bio. It's really good that people came with some ideas and now they've refined that. Other people came with no ideas and now they've got ideas. My channel is about open source, tech events, hackathons, conferences, and trying to share people's stories to encourage more people into tech. Open source is for everybody, open source is for you.
Welcome everybody to Global Diversity CFP Day. It's really lovely to see you all here. My name is Jo and I'm going to be facilitating the day. I would like to introduce Simona and Laura, who are our fabulous organisers for today, who have made this whole event happen. So I would like to start the day with a round of applause for them and a big thank you.
I'm here with Simona at Global Diversity CFP Day at Microsoft Reactor.
Hi, I'm Simona Kotin. I work at Microsoft as a developer advocate, and I'm very, very, very thrilled for the opportunity to host this workshop today in the London Reactor.
The event today, so it's about public speaking. And so, Simona, can you talk a bit about today? Like, what are the sort of exercises and little part of the workshops that are happening today, and what's happened so far?
We're gonna spend the day as with a series of exercises and a series of talks that will help everyone get excited and kind of build that confidence on getting out there and sharing the fantastic knowledge that they have with everyone in the tech industry and everyone really that will be at these conferences. So today we spent a bit of time learning from Sarah May and a few other folks on how to build your first talk and how to find ideas for your first talk. And I think one of the things that really resonated with me was the advice that even though you think that everyone has already covered the topic that you plan to talk on, and you think that you have absolutely nothing to share, everyone has their own perspective, and everyone will bring their own story and their own experience into the talk that they're building. So regardless whether the topic of maybe building applications with Angular or testing your applications or the cloud, anything really, if you think that there's been tons of other people that have covered that, it doesn't matter. It's your story and your perspective that we want to hear.
I'm Laura. I'm a software developer. I work at Samsung Internet. I work a lot with the community because also I'm a developer advocate. I work with GDG Cloud, also organizing events so we can bring more people into the community and make more diverse events.
How's the day going today? How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's amazing. We have a lot of people that is really excited trying to share their ideas. Also a little bit curious about how it is to have their first public speaking, how they can apply to different tech conferences. And we have a lot of different people with different backgrounds, so that's what it makes me more excited. If you've never been in a tech conference before, go to the islands. First of all, try to listen, and then, try to see what is your next opportunity for a CFP. For me, having public speaking was a boost for my career, so it can definitely change your career too.
I'm going to pass the mic along and I'm going to let all of these wonderful mentors introduce themselves. And while they're doing that, you can start thinking about some questions to ask them.
How do you ask for and receive feedback for your presentation? Do you ask someone you know, or do you invite the audiences to give you feedback afterwards, or maybe it's just too random or whatever?
I tend to break up my feedback into two phases. There's the feedback you get before you give the talk and the feedback you get after you give the talk. When it comes to before, it's great if you have a partner or a close friend you can just do an initial run through with. Like you put your slides on the TV and you grab a clicker, try to get a clicker, because you don't want to be staring at your computer screen tapping on keys when you're trying to focus on reading your notes.
Make sure it's a group of friends or colleagues that like know and trust you enough and like pretty much love you and want you to succeed to tell you it sucks when it sucks or it's good when it's good. You just want to get honest feedback before you go out there. That's the most important thing.
So usually the organizers won't make you do a Q&A unless you really want to. I think it's totally acceptable to say, hey, I will take your questions privately until like you feel more comfortable to do it publicly. You might always want to continue to take questions privately. So don't feel like you have to do a Q&A. I would say discuss it with the organizers so that they have an idea of what will happen. But I have never seen one that goes, yeah, you have to do Q&A.
I think there's a concept of procrastination versus habit. And I've so wanted to transition from procrastinating everything in my life to like forming a habit and discipline and getting things done. Conferences and talks have actually helped me do that because I would submit talks that I had no idea about just so I could force myself to learn about it within the particular deadline and then present it because I don't want to look stupid. So that's basically, like now I do things better and procrastinate less because basically it's like built up like that. But
being a speaker has opened up my horizons of my career to ideas around ecosystem, because necessarily when you're at a conference and you're talking to other speakers and you're talking to attendees, you're talking to people that want to engage across the industry out of their particular company and connect with people across the industry.
Parenting in the digital age. Can I just have a show of hands if anyone is a parent or knows it? Okay, so a few people. Right, so quick question, a quick show of hands. This generation of children growing up are what I call digital natives. And I feel like a lot of parents don't consider themselves as digital natives. So can I have a show of hands if you feel like you've got this parenting thing sussed out and you're an expert? Oh, I can see one hand.
In my own view, there's certain types of skills that we can all develop. I've learned it the painful way and probably the difficult way over time. And that's actually to recognise when teams are starting to misunderstand each other. You know, we often spin up teams very quickly with people hired initially. They get together, they form a rapport, then we move on to bringing in further people. And then we have customers we have to think about. Then we have those that we deliver software and solutions to, perhaps partners, perhaps resellers. And all the way through, it's quite obvious that there's a lot of misunderstandings.
My proposal for my talk is my adventure into tech with the support of diversity inclusion. I could not get work in the animal sciences. So I realized a passion for problem solving, and it led to me going, how do I get into tech? Self-taught myself with a lot of support from my husband and my best friend. And over time, I started understanding about diversity inclusion in tech, and I was going to a lot of meetups for women, and I joined a group called Code First Girls, and the instructors there supported me. And the company that hosted it, IG Group, the company I'm now working for, also supported me. I am lucky because women before me have had to struggle, and they're still struggling. Yet I got the support because of this diversity inclusion, and I get challenged a lot to grow, and I want to share that story with everybody. That's it.
That's fantastic. Most people usually have a software engineering role, and then when they grow up, they decide to do something different, maybe open a startup, maybe transition into a more sales role. I had the opposite path, so I have had the startup, and I interned in technical sales. And I want to give a talk discussing what skills I gained from that, skills that have helped me put more focus in often neglected parts of software development lifecycle. And if you want to learn more, you should come to my talk.
In the context of this event, which is about speakers and people getting involved in speaking and tech speaking. So I started speaking in tech events in 1998. My first tech event that I ever spoke at was a conference that I wanted to attend. I asked my boss, can I attend this conference? He said, no, I'm not going to pay for you to go to that conference, but see if you can speak. It made me realize that by writing about something, you really, truly start to understand it. And by being able to teach others or to communicate the thoughts that you have in your head to somebody else, either through a talk or through writing a book, which I ended up doing as well, that you are understanding it, you get a better understanding yourself of a topic, of a particular topic.
So today, what a wonderful day it's been. I know Daniel from last year. I met him at Global Diversity CFP Day 2019.
Yeah.
And you were my mentor, and it was amazing.
All across the world, you've got Bangalore and
Australia. I saw the first thing to come up in the morning on Twitter.
Dusseldorf, and I think there was one in Fiji.
Oh, wow, we should go to that one next time.
Yeah, okay.
Fiji, we're there with you next time.
Okay.
You said something that is on my hoodie that I don't have, that I want to kind of hold up, which was
that we should really move away from using things like Ninja and Wizard and 10x Developer, because it puts just too much pressure on other people, and also cultural appropriation. It's always a really good opportunity to consider the impact that it has on other people. And just because it's been there forever doesn't mean that it's the right way or it's the best way. And working on inclusivity and making everyone feel represented and feel also that you're not stealing their culture or using their culture in an incorrect way is incredibly, incredibly powerful and beneficial. I think it's always good to kind of open up the conversation about why those things are not ideal. I want to believe that people have best intentions, and I want to believe that people are not necessarily using like Rockstar or Ninja just to like be really shitty about their jobs or making people like work weird times or something like that. And I want to believe that part of it is also due to no one attracted their attention on that.
And I have Shrishtika with me. And you were a mentor today. Mm-hmm. And how was the day for you, and why did you mentor today?
The day was amazing. I was kind of like thinking, oh, it's a Saturday, I have an event tomorrow at 8 a.m. as well.
What do you have tomorrow?
I'm actually speaking remotely for another GD CFP day in India.
Oh, wow.
But because it's in India, awkward timings, I have to wake up at 8 a.m. for the talk today. When at the end of the day, people came up to me and said, thanks for the mentorship. Some of the points you made really helped me with the things I've been stuck with for a while. So that really motivates you more and makes you want to come to these kind of events more.
Olga is a software engineer and she writes codes for the terminal at Bloomberg. Her background lies in electrical engineering and having interned in technical sales at Microsoft. She co-founded a company called Code It Like a Girl, where she was teaching women and children how to code. And nowadays she spends her time at community events in London and exploring a dubious talent in swing dancing.
Ah, cool. Yes, I remember you do swing dancing at Michael. I remember when I see that in my feed. So how was your day today? Did you have a good time? You're smiling, which is good.
Amazing.
What were the talk titles you're thinking of? Can you share, or is it a secret?
So I didn't finish
Sure.
mine, but I got at least 5 ideas. And
Wow,
maybe a couple of
not
blog
even
posts.
one, you got 5.
Yeah, so
Okay.
lots of ideas. The one I tried thinking most on was how to have an elastic data pipeline.
Mine is basically my journey into tech, along with this sort of support from the diversity inclusion that's been happening, this initiative that's been happening for the last couple of years, and basically how the support system that I had has got me to where I am today. And this is my biggest supporter right next to me.
That's
so,
awesome. How was your day?
My day was pretty amazing.
Your pitch was amazing as well.
Thank you. I didn't think I would do it at the beginning of the day, and everyone encouraged to do it, and so I did it.
How was your day today?
It was amazing. So I've really enjoyed being in a room full of diverse individuals, because actually, as you know, tech is not very diverse.
Not yet, we're working on it.
Okay, that's good. So I can see an example of the future tech in this room. So that was really good. Women from a range of nationalities and people from a range. So that's been really good to see.
Different ages as well.
Different ages,
I think it was really interesting to see
younger,
different
older.
backgrounds.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that's been wonderful. And then I feel like now I've got my talk. I'm ready.
That's awesome. That's so good. And what's your talk title?
So it's titled Empowering Parents in the Digital Age. So yeah, that's my
That's
my
awesome.
talk.